Hey guys, how's it going? Wooksy here. Today I'm going to be showing you my Hydra build. Now this is an endgame build, so this does have some more expensive items to it, as you can see, compared to some of the earlier guys I've produced with the Pyro. We're going to be using Pendant of Eternity because we want our not our poisons, but our burns to stack up, which we'll be getting a ton of them due to our Hydras and everything else. Sheep King's crown, just because it's like best insult helmet right now, pretty much across the board. Definitely does deserve a tiny nerf next season, but it'll still be worth using. We use Torch of Shadows here. I should definitely be getting one with a higher into the dark level, but I just haven't. Mirage, this is a really key part to this build, but you can use an Iron Giant's shield as well if you want to be more tanky. Honestly, either or work just fine. I am going to use Mirage right now, but I will show you guys the difference while using a Iron Giant shield. For the chest, you pretty much only want to use a Mystical Lure. You're wanting to stack as many all talents as possible, and this is one of the best ways to do it. Going to be using a Dragon's Breath. This is our best in slot wand. It gives us 2 all talents. Well, that's an extra roll on the all talents, my bad. But it does give us quite a bit of stats, like plenty ability power, fire damage. The attack speed's pretty good. Gives us +6 to Hydras, which is really nice. And then it gives us Hydra Mastery, which is your mastery of all Hydras. Or if Hydras allows you to increase your Hydra's attack speed by 35%, damage by 30%, and duration by 2 seconds. So that 2-second duration is actually really huge. It'll allow you to stack quite a bit more Hydras, especially if any proc with Mirage. I do use Anubis Mighty Hand, just because they're, in my opinion, a lot better version of the Scuttle Crab Gauntlets. It's basically trading armor for HP. As this one has the rolled armor versus the rolled HP. I do like this one still because HP is like extremely important on Pyromancer. That's one of our main ways of staying alive. Now, I know my resists are super janky, but we're just going to pretend those are all maxed out. As you can see, I'm getting like almost 70k health per second, so I'm healing extremely quickly. I'm going to have a lot of HP from Flame Shield, high damage from our Fireflies, our 3rd degree burns, our Hydra, and our burning. And then we put the rest of our points into Fire Nova. Excuse me. We have plenty of plus talents, so our Extended Flames is already really buffed. So that's kind of our stats we're working with for that. Now, again, to finish out the gear, I use a Knight's Girdle. This is purely just for the defensive stats, the all talents, and overall this is just like one of my favorite pre-chase belts. I'm using the Demon Eye Ring. I don't know if that's just, yeah, it's just due to lack of life per hit. It helps having that. I use the Boots of the Golden God. They're just extremely strong. They're probably 1 or 2 of the best boots before chase items compared to like Tundra Marchers. Like it's either Tundra Marchers, Golden God boots, or Boots of Blood if you want like min-max stuff. There's also the Steady Boots, Steady Marchers, which have like a ton of armor on them, but we don't really need to worry about the armor. Like I said, we're focusing more on HP. And then finally we have Power of the Void. This one has 2 all talents rolled to it. Like most of our gear is all talent rolled. That's just the best way to do it. But if we did need more damage reduction, we can always use a Praetorian's Blood. And you don't need all talent rolls, it just helps, but you can always get like stamina or HP rolls, movement speed, stuff like that. or if you go crit, you can always get some crit rolls in there as well. Our hero levels, we're hero level 70 now because we're actually going to be doing harder content. So pretty simple: HP, armor, elemental damage, shield, because as I told you guys before, I don't want the mobs being pushed around. Burning, attack speed, or not attack speed, but movement speed. I do like the attack speed, but I feel like the movement speed is just a little bit better, due to it helps us position our Hydras and everything a lot better and whatnot, so I choose that one. And then we go Vagabond's Might. We are using our Mercenary this time, so as you can see he has quite a bit of HP and health per second. He is going to be pretty good. His resists are fairly high, his HP's high, his reduction isn't the highest, but it's still going to be hard to kill him. So he's going to be a really good partner for you, as he's going to take a lot more of your damage. And yeah, he's just very strong at this point. So his gear, he is using a Judge. This is for the taunt. I chose not to put angelic enchants on the items right now, just to show you a 1k wormhole. But if you did have the angelic enchants on the weapons, you'd be able to get way higher. But yeah, we are using a Judge. I picked an Enigma mainly because I just wanted to pick the first item I saw. This is it. It's really good for the Merc though, because the all talents don't do anything, but the all resist, the huge amount of HP, the all stats and armor is just very strong. I mean, compared to like a Leviathan or something, it's not even close. It's not even comparable. So what you could do is you can always swap this out with like Shroud of Elements or with a Mayhem, but I am going to save this swap for bosses. If I even bother with the swap, I may not bother with the swap because I just like personally having the HP. Again, Golden Crusader, fairly standard, and then a Shelter. Again, we like the HP regen from it, and it's just overall a good shield. So that's kind of what we're running with for now. If I was to use a angelic enchant on this weapon, I would probably go for Mark Target or Eternal Burning, or whatever it's called, Eternal Flame. And then for the Judge, I would definitely go for Weapon Sweep. This way we're always healing. But yeah, let's go ahead and do a 1k. So right now it's set to 1001. So we're just going to set it to a straight 1000. As you can see, 1000 wormhole. And we'll go see how much we can butcher this run. So as usual, we're just going to be aggroing everything up. The Hydras are extremely strong for this because you place them in the back and it will keep the mobs in aggro, which means they will continue to kite towards you. So they're basically like a mini taunt. Now this map's always really good to taunt all the mobs on, just because like you could pretty much taunt the mobs from anywhere inside the inner triangle. Now I'm just focusing on grouping everybody up together. The more everyone's grouped, the easier our AoE damage is to put out. So one part of this map I really like is this corner right here, because you can stack up all the mobs in this corner and they just get absolutely destroyed. Hopefully I'll be able to show you an example of that in a second here. It is a little laggy due to the Torch of Shadows, but that's just how Torch of Shadows works. Now, as you see, I do try to tank some of the knockups, or the pillars, because once you are in the air with the pillar, it makes you take 0 damage. So you can take 0 damage while still dealing damage to the enemies. So as long as you can survive tanking the hit, I suggest tanking it, and that will just give you additional, basically just 100% avoidance without using block. So did miss some of the mobs, but really not a big deal. I cleared this pretty sloppy, but as you can see, this went absolutely fine for 1k. And that was the trash. Hopefully we don't get some crazy boss. So I can show you just an example of the DPS. I'll just get like Gabe or something. Nope, this one's not bad. Okay, so I am going to be trying to tank some of the damage. I actually don't know if I'm going to die or not, so if I do, then I will use my cheating little resurrect. You always want to dodge the Raw's Wrath or whatever. Yeah, that's a one shot. Ooh, 700k. Okay. So, Raw's Wrath, that is like always a guaranteed one shot. Always make sure you dodge that. So, as you can see with this build, I guess you can't tank everything, but you still can tank like a fairly good amount of stuff. I did get hit with multiple spells there at the same time. That is something we are working on preventing in the future, where multiple spells are casting all at the exact same moment. This boss is also a little difficult just because of the hands. They're always doing constant damage, so you can't really stand on top of them unless you just have like really good health regen or something else. If I did want a little more damage out, I would just swap out my Mercenary's chest for a Shroud of the Elements. But I'm fine with our DPS. It's not really something we need to worry about. It's more just staying alive and being able to kill the boss. So now if we're doing like a 2k or something, I would definitely swap out to a Shroud of the Elements for the boss only. For the trash, I would still continue to keep the Enigma he's wearing. And that's a 1k wormhole. We wouldn't have died if I didn't try tanking, but it is what it is. So let's go ahead and try with this. As you can see, our reduction in HP and everything has gone up like substantially. So we're gonna use that instead of Mirage on this run. And we will be swapping to the Shroud of Elements on the boss. So let's just go ahead, set this to 2k. And let me just clean my glasses really quick. I'm sorry, guys. Alright, so I'm just gonna use my reset button here. I did set it to 2k. As you saw, the monster level went from like 6k something to 2k, so, or to 12k, so it did go up. And you'll notice with the HP and everything too on the mobs. So with this one, I am going to play a little slower, just so that my Mercenary can taunt. which he just doesn't feel like doing right now, I guess. There's a taunt. If I can tank a pillar cast, I would definitely like to tank one, but it doesn't look like I'm going to get the opportunity here. There's too many swarms and stuff going on. There's another taunt. So I'm just basically having him taunt each pack of mobs and then moving forward. The timer is irrelevant to us right now. Once we get everybody grouped up, it's pretty much game over, so. And of course we lost 2 of our buddies out there, which that sucks. There's a pillar, gonna go ahead and tank that. And as you can see, I'm not tanking damage anymore while being in the air, so it is really good to have. I'm gonna go collect those other 2 mobs. So, like I said, our timer is fine. I'm not concerned with that in the slightest. I'll just go ahead and try to kill these guys while everybody's kiting over here. It's not too big of a deal. Yeah, they just need to gather up anyway, so. Alright, and then we will go ahead and start heading back. Granted, this hasn't been the best run. If I got a little better taunts out, it would have been a lot easier, but it didn't happen. Well, so it is what it is. I'm gonna go ahead and basically just stand right here and start focusing on keeping mobs grouped up in this area. As they start coming, they're just gonna start getting ripped up by the Hydras and whatever else I have to throw at them. No, I usually like jumping into the packs of mobs because it does give you more DPS, but not everybody's gonna do that, obviously. Especially if you're like playing on hardcore, I don't really see the benefit of, you know, risking your character to a possible 2-shot. But yeah, as you can see, the mobs are dying extremely quickly. So clearing this isn't going to be an issue at all. The only thing I am worried about at this point is like maybe some of the champions, just because of how long it did take us to kite. So I am going to try to focus on them a little bit with our Torch of Shadows and just some of our single target. Again, dodge the damage you can. No, you are super tanky. Like, you can pretty much tank any single hit that this game's going to provide, besides like a Gabe one-shot or like some of the laser beams that hit for like 1 mil plus. Other than that, like, you're super tanky on this build. Yeah, and it does look like we are going to struggle a little bit with this one, just due to the kiting. Yeah, the kiting took a whole bar and a half out. So hopefully we can do it. If not, as you guys can see, it is possible. So we'll go ahead and just kill the boss regardless. Trick to avoid a lot of damage while you are standing in these packs of mobs is just keep jumping. It will allow you to dodge like all the lightning on the ground, all the arcane. I did get lucky and hit a pillar, so that's good for us. Yeah, this may not be the run where I get the timer down right. If I was able to taunt those last two mobs, it definitely would have been like a lot faster. And also the fact we don't have Angelic Enchants on. This being a 2K, I probably should go get Angelic Enchants, but I have not, so... Yeah, as you guys can see, we are gonna definitely fail this one, but if we did have that additional bar and a half, this would have been very easy to do. But I will again, like I said, clear all the mobs, because I want to show you the boss using the Iron Giant Shield. And the reason why I know we could have finished this is all the HP on these guys are very low. We definitely would have been able to have cleared this. Now there are some things you can do a little differently with this build. While focusing on Hydras, you can always go like attack speed based, and that way you're getting, you know, plenty of damage from the Hydras, plus you're just, you know, destroying with your auto attacks. You can also go like the Fire Nova route, where you don't get Fireflies, or max Fireflies, and you just, you know, max Nova and put the additional points into Extended Flames. It's also just a really good way to do it. And he is dead. The other thing I dislike about Hydras, which I do believe I'll be changing in the new season, is they have knockback. That's kinda lame. Like, just the knockback pushes things so far back. It's good if you're trying to, like, wall in enemies and create a cushion, but that's not really what this build or this character is about, so... Now, as you can see, our Mercenary has 2.6 million HP. We will go ahead and get him into a Shroud of the Elements, drops him down to 1.9, and his health regen is 309k, so he's not super tanky, but he should keep us alive. And it's Pogacho, my favorite boss. Now granted, I should be able to pretty much tank anything besides like getting hit with multiple flies during Pokecho. As you can see, I tank damaged quite nicely. Damage might seem a little slow still. Again, a big reason for that is due to the lack of the angelic enchant. If I had like mark target on right now, it'd be way faster. Especially if like my mercenary had a weapon sweep, we would have gotten through the trash a lot faster, and we would sustain on bosses way easier. So probably gonna get this guy to like 80 billion and just go for the kill and end the video. I'll try tanking a little bit of a hunger. Yeah. I was able to tank, I think, what, 4 or 5 flies there. Now, what you do notice that once your mercenary dies, you do stop tanking, or you take like a lot more damage. That's due to symbiosis. And yeah, the damage may not seem like a ton, but it is quite a bit. Pyromancer doesn't have the easiest time nuking stuff down unless they're the auto attack build. So with that said, I'll go ahead and end on that note. But yeah, this is the Pyro build, or the Hydra build. Again, I'm using the same relics. I really shouldn't be, but I am. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. I know this video kind of turned out to be a long one, but hopefully it's somewhat enjoyable or insightful. But other than that, I will see you guys in the next build, or the next guide. So take care.